This is Tales and Whispers, where every story is felt, not just heard.
Today, we're diving into the incredible story of Martha Berry. This is a story about how one woman with one simple decision on a Sunday literally created a legacy that would echo for generations. So, yeah, let's get right into it.
And this question, it's really at the core of everything we're talking about today. Because what you're about to see is just how a tiny little spark of an idea, something that comes from just one observation, can catch fire and turn into this massive, lasting change.
All right, so let's set the scene. Our story starts with Martha Berry. Now, she was born in 1866 into a really well-off family. Her life was pretty much set up to be one of comfort, of ease. But even from a young age, something else caught her eye, something way beyond the walls of her own privileged world.
So picture this. Martha's on these long horseback rides with her dad, and she starts seeing this completely different reality. It's just a stone's throw from her own comfortable life, but what she sees is real hardship, worn-out houses, and this is what really got to her. Kids with hands calloused from working in the fields instead of holding books. And, this wasn't just something she noticed and then forgot about. No way. The image of these kids who were being denied the simple chance to just learn, it just burrowed into her mind. It became this question that literally wouldn't let her sleep. Why? Why were they deprived of the most basic opportunities? Well, that question, that thing that kept her up at night, it finally pushed her to make a decision. And this is the moment where just seeing something turns into doing something. This is where the story really takes off. And you know how it all started? Right here, with just one small log cabin. It was on her family's land back in the late 1890s. There was no grand plan, no big foundation, no fundraising, just one simple, available space. Her invitation was just as simple and direct as the cabin. She basically said, "Come on Sunday, we'll start with the letters." Think about how profound that offer was. She had no proper blackboard, barely any books. There was no guarantee that anyone would even show up, let alone come back. The only thing she really had to offer was her own commitment. That was it. And guess what? The children came. They actually showed up. And pretty soon, everyone started calling them the Sunday Kids. You have to think, they probably came because for the very first time, somebody was actually seeing them. But look, this was not an easy journey. Not at all. She faced skepticism, even ridicule, from people who just didn't get what she was trying to do. And even Martha, she had her own fears. It wasn't really a fear of failing, but a fear that this dream she had was just way too big for her to handle on her own. Okay, so as she's working with these kids, Martha has this aha moment, a really crucial realization. She figured out that just teaching them to read and write, well, that wasn't going to be enough. It wasn't enough to break the cycle of poverty they were all trapped in. She needed a different approach. And this led to what was probably her boldest idea yet. You see, she understood something really fundamental. A hungry kid can't focus on learning. It's just that simple. And she knew that practical, real-world skills were the key to self-sufficiency. So she came up with this work-study model. The students would actually work to help run the school. And by doing that, they'd earn their education. And that's the key distinction, right? This wasn't a handout. It was empowerment. It was a partnership where they could literally invest in their own futures. And from those first little Sunday classes, her vision just exploded. It grew so fast. By 1902, she had founded a full boarding school for boys, all built on that same work-study idea. And then, by 1909, she opened a school for girls, making sure they had the exact same access to both academics and the skills they'd need to, stand on their own 2 feet. So what started as just this simple act of kindness in a tiny little cabin, well, it went through this unbelievable transformation. It grew into something I don't think even Martha herself could have imagined at the start. The scale of the growth was just staggering. Think about it. What started in one log cabin became a whole educational institution with its own buildings, workshops, farms, the whole shebang. A handful of kids turned into generations of students. And what started as just teaching the alphabet evolved into a full-blown curriculum of academics and vocational training. Her little personal project had become this massive, enduring legacy. And here's something that's maybe the most fascinating part of all of this. Get this. Martha Berry,
the woman who founded this incredible school, never actually had a traditional university degree herself. Her huge impact came from pure vision, from grit, and from this deep sense of purpose. Of course, she was later awarded plenty of honorary degrees for her work, which is pretty amazing.
So, what's the big takeaway here? What does Martha's story really teach us? Because beyond all the history, there's a really powerful lesson in this for every single one of us. Her story really makes you look in the mirror and ask yourself, right? Are you waiting? Are you waiting for the perfect tools or the perfect timing or that flawless plan before you decide to step up and help or to act on an idea you have? Because if Martha's story teaches us anything, it's that if you wait until you feel ready, you might just never start. The core message here is so simple. Goodness doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need perfect tools. It just needs a start. And you can start so small. It can be a kind word. It can be just an hour of your time. It can be creating just one opportunity for someone, or just opening a door for somebody who can't open it themselves. Look, the reason we're even telling Martha's story today is because she just decided to start. She used what she had right where she was. And her legacy leaves us with this one last, really inspiring thought. If you start, if you actually do something, who knows? Maybe one day someone will be telling your story too.